Yes, April, please. Hi, April. This is Joe with Profit Rhino. We had a product demo scheduled for 11 o'clock this morning. I was going to see if we're still on for that. Oh, perfect, perfect. Did you get the email I sent for you guys? Just log into that. We'll get the meeting going. Yep. Yep, absolutely. Let me just send it now. And it's the cool front for April at Gmail. Perfect. Yep. I'll send another one right away. Should be right in your inbox here momentarily, April. And while we're waiting for that, April, tell me a little bit about the business. What are you guys doing as far as pricing? You're using an FSM, a CRM? Where are you guys looking to go in the future, just so we can kind of make sure we focus on what's going to be important to you today? Okay, perfect. Should be second line down, says join the meeting right here. Just click that link, follow it right through. It'll take you right here, and we'll jump right in and get it done for you here this morning. Perfect, perfect. Should be just a second here. You guys get snow today, or are you a little too far south for that? Either one is just fine. It doesn't really matter. No, no worries. Perfect, perfect. Let's get jumped in there. Now we can stay on the phone for the audio. If your computer has a microphone, we can obviously do it through the computer, or you can call into that number below. It's all the same for me, so really whatever's best for you. Oh, sure. Yep. On the bottom of that email, there's a dial-in number. That way, the audio will come through the computer. So if you want to dial into that from your cell, I'll just wait to hear from you here, and we'll jump and get the meeting going. Sure. I'm sorry. I don't think so. I probably dialed the New York number, the East Coast number, but it shouldn't make a difference. Also, that meeting ID is below in case it prompts you for it. So I'll just wait to hear from you, and we'll jump right in and get it done, April. Thanks. Bye. All right, perfect. Can you hear me, April? Hi, April, can you hear me? If you can, I don't have any audio for you. Hi, April, can you hear me? Thanks for calling Profit Rhino. This is Joe. Hey, April, how are you? Having a little trouble there with the audio? Yeah, perfect. So, yeah, perfect. We can stay right on the phone here. So, let's jump in and get it done here, get you back to your day. I assume you can see my screen okay, the agenda on one side, Profit Rhino on the other? Perfect. Normally, it's just kind of a roadmap of what we like to hit as we go through. Pain points we already did while we were getting logged in, kind of know what you guys are looking for. Introduction we've already done. So really, let's just jump right into it here. I'm going to pull the iPad right up on the screen. First thing we're going to do is look at everything like your customer and your tech is going to see that out in the field. And then we'll jump in the web portal and see how you guys are going to manage all this stuff. How you're going to change your pictures, your upsells, cross sells, all that fun stuff. And then I will get you back onto your day here. So you should see my iPad pop up on the screen here. Our app is just the little Rhino holding the tablet there. Going to make you dizzy for just a second here. Apologize for that. Perfect. So this is the home screen of Profit Rhino. Not a whole lot here for us, really, April. Obviously, we'll have it branded with your logo. As far as the color scheme, we can change that to match your branding, whatever you guys have as far as marketing. The only other big things here are your hotkeys. This goes into your price book, your work order builder, your option builder, and then here's where we can check your customer database. You'll notice the pictures coincide with these up here, so those will stay with us everywhere we go, so we can always jump into that stuff quickly. Red dot is just where I'm touching just to kind of help you follow along. So this is the home screen of our price book. As you may or may not know, images are the big thing that we do here. We have over 3,300 custom images, about 10,000 different spots here. The other really big thing here is we can control this view. So you guys are obviously doing HVAC. Are you doing any plumbing, electrical, besides a little bit with your new installs? Yeah, just your condensate pumps and your disconnects and stuff. So what we'll do is we'll actually turn all the stuff off you don't use. The cleaner, the easier we can make this view. The faster your guys are going to work through it, less chance they make mistakes. That leads to a better experience for everybody. Then all these books are set up kind of the same way. We'll jump in the heating book because 'tis the season. Do you guys get snow down there? Or are you a little too far south? We're in upstate New York, and it's just we're just watching the line come at us here. So it's just a matter of time. But um, Next thing you see here, first obvious question if we're doing a heating job, what type of heating system am I working on? Like the first page, if you guys don't do oil, you don't do hydronic, we can actually turn this stuff right off. Again, the easier, the cleaner we can make it, the faster the guys work through it, the less chance they make mistakes. Probably force hot air is the most common for everybody. And then what job are we doing on the system? You know, your ducts, your venting, controllers, sparkers, wheels, filters down here. It's going to fall under one of these categories. Again, the point is to start at the top of the funnel, get to the bottom as quickly as possible. Once we jump inside here, this is where you're really going to see these images take over. Easy for your guys to find this stuff if they need wheels, belts, pulleys, capacitors. Super easy to find. You're going to find your customers really enjoy these pictures as well. You know, the customer doesn't really know what a capacitor is or does, but the fact they can see a picture of it just makes it a tangible purchase, something a little more worth it to them. So really cool there. And then something you brought up was service agreements. As you can see here, we really push this 2 levels of pricing. You're going to see it follow us everywhere we go. What we're trying to do here, April, is get the customer to ask us about the service agreement. We know from doing these sales, if the customer can start this conversation or ask us about it, our chances of selling that service agreement, whatever it is, just went way up. So we're going to put this everywhere in hopes the customer is going to ask us about this. If they don't, at the end, that's when we're going to kind of make our sales pitch. So you'll see that really follow us everywhere we go. And again, it's just that, meant to drive those service agreement sales for you folks. If we go inside here, first thing you notice is the image. Any image can be touched and can go full screen, which is really nice, again, with things with aesthetics. Also a diagram on almost every job. This is not for your techs. If your tech needs us to change a blower motor, you got way bigger problems on your hand than your price book system today. But when the customer wants to know, you know, why is this going to cost X amount of dollars, meant to explain what the job is, what it does, and put some value in that job for the customer. To the right, April, you're going to see what we call the tech description. Obviously, we need a brief description to make sure these guys are pulling the correct parts, what they need to pull here. Second line is what we call a secondary description. And again, that's just that, telling the tech a little bit more about what's going on. This lets them know that we do include the belt with this job. Also try and add the pulley as well. And then down here is what we call customer description. And April is going to be just that, what the customer cares about, excuse me, not us. What it is, what it does, why it could wear out, that kind of thing. It has aesthetics. I'll talk about the look, the finish, 2 levels of pricing. And then maybe the biggest thing of all right here is this MPT 90. This stands for minutes per task. I don't know how familiar you are with flat rate price books, but how we have this set up. Oh, you use that now? Every job has a time assigned to it. You have a parts markup chart. Awesome. So this is where our time's coming from. Obviously, we can move this up or down to kind of change, you know, what's there. What are you guys using for pricing now? Do you have like a Mayo book or Callahan Roach or just something you put together yourself? Okay. Perfect. Okay, perfect. So a lot of this is kind of double talk here. So good. I'll kind of not bore you with all that stuff that you already know about here. Um, Next thing here is where we're going to do stuff that CoolFront is going to do for you guys. If we hit this view recommended button, same thing if we add this to an invoice, always we're going to get this recommended services pop up. This is, I like to say, the Amazon selling method. People who bought this also bought this, this, and this. We're going to go ahead and prompt these techs to upsell, cross-sell this stuff. The only reason your guys have for not offering this stuff is to just be lazy and truly not do it. So this is going to pop up. Something else that I'm sure you're familiar with CoolFront is tasks and add-ons. Obviously, we're adding extra time into the first task. We don't need to do that to the second, third, fourth tasks there. The extra time for our sales, our setup. So we can actually change that with this toggle and really use that to our advantage, April. You can see the price change in the number here. Mrs. Jones, I recommend a pull and clean. If I have to come back and do it next month, it's $275. Since I'm already here, they let me give you a discount. It's only $165. The power of the customer seeing $110 fall off that job, you'll be amazed how much stuff you guys can really sell off the screen. Next one, I'm going to jump in the AC quick because there's just not a good spot to show it there in the heating. But down here is common alternatives. Anytime we have different levels of product, especially more expensive, more profitable levels of product, we want to let the customer know what their options are, and people love these choices. So here we can kind of tell them, you know, nothing wrong with this thermostat, it's going to work, but you'd probably much enjoy a nice Honeywell or a Wi-Fi or even a Nest. And again, right down here at the bottom, all you guys have to do is touch these. You can jump in, go full screen, see the diagrams, all that cool stuff. And really, again, just make it as simple as possible for these guys out there. April, I'm sure you've been doing this long enough. You know, if we don't make the extra salesmanship easy for those guys, most of the time it doesn't get done. So the easier, cleaner, faster we can make it, the better we can do them. And you guys can run reports to see if they're selling stuff off these pages, off this page here. And then some people use that as a way to incentivize the guys. You know, you'll make extra money if you're selling stuff from the bottom, from here, and really get them into doing that stuff and raising that average ticket price. So I want to do a quick pause for questions. If not, I want to run it right through a tech scenario from the time you walk in, the time you leave, and show you guys exactly what that's going to look like, how it's going to work in the field. Let's do it. So this clipboard here is where we're going to jump to this screen. First thing we always do is assign it to a customer. All you have to do is just search by first or last name in the customer list. It's going to pull it out here. I'm a New York football guy. We always go to Eli's house. And the next thing, oh, also, sorry about that. I'm skipping a page here. Let's take that off. Sorry about that. I got a little ahead of myself. So if we go here, also we can create a new customer. Obviously, you get new customers. We can create those in the field as well for you guys. You can also load those in the back when they call in as well. So just up to you guys how you want to do that. So we go here. First thing we're going to do is go to this green plus. And April, this is where we're going to call the hotkey, where we're going to find our dispatch fees, our service agreements. Labor adder is really cool. This has a bunch of, if you have to open up a wall, if you have to haul away scrap, dig a trench, you know, we have tasks for all that stuff already. So that's where we'll do your diagnosis fee. I have mine at 3 levels. Of course, you can do as many or as few as you want. And then we're going to do something a little bit different, I believe, than CoolFront, and we're going to actually collect a signature here. We're going to let the customer know what this fee is, what it's for, and why they're responsible for it, and then we're going to get a signature. 2 big reasons. One, make sure we collect it. Hard for them to deny it when you have their signature. Secondly, we're going to involve them in this pricing. So this is kind of just getting them into the tablet, getting them involved with the process a little bit here. So after we've done that, we'll diagnose the problem. Let's just say it's a blower motor since we just looked at one. Now we can go into the book and go to heating, forced hot air, blower wheels and motors, and do all that, or we can just give them options, menu pricing, good, better, best pricing. And we're going to find this here at the 1, 2, 3. Now I can actually go in and make options, good, better, best, 2 to 6 options, very specific to this job and customize it. Or if it's a standard job, we can come right in and have these things pre-built. All I have to do is go to heating, belt drive, blower motor, open it. Here's the option already built to show the customer. All I have to do is jump to this little guy here, do a quick summary of findings, what I found, what I think the customer should do to fix it. Sorry, I can't think of that word here. Also, voice to text will go ahead and work as well. So you guys can just dictate this, which will make it go faster, better experience for the customer. Always read that first if you're doing voice to text. And then April, I just go to this eyeball and I am now a branded PDF quote for the customer. Obviously, your information, your logo, summary of findings. First page is what we call the cover page, just a brief summary. We're going to hit them with service agreement discounts, bundle savings, everything we can to get them up into these, top tier options. Second page now includes the image and description for everything here. Emailed, printed directly to the customer from the tablet. Also, of course, this is a cloud-based service. So, April, you can have a tech out there presenting this to a customer in their home. You can be sitting there at the desk looking at this option simultaneously. This stuff is happening in real time, which is really cool. Next, they're going to make an option here. Eli's got the money. He'll take number 1, jump back in, and this is where we can talk service agreement. If they have one, you simply touch it to change the rate. That easy. Let me open this up a little bit so we can see a little better for you. If we want to sell a service agreement, again, we can pull them right off that hotkey here. We have all your different agreements here. Of course, we'll customize the verbiage and stuff for you guys in here. Add that so we know we can charge a service agreement rate. Here's where we can do your taxes. I'm not sure how the taxes work for you guys there in North Carolina. If it's the same on every job, we can set it in the back so your techs don't have to worry about it. If it varies a lot between the different towns and counties you go to, we can set it per job, every job, make it tax exempt, and then we can do discounts by dollars or by percentage. Senior discounts, military discounts, really kind of one of the big ones. And then here's something that we did not talk about, and that is financing. Do you guys use any of the third-party financiers for like big service jobs, anything like that? Perfect. So what we do here is, unfortunately, we can only pick one. But what we're going to do is, when you signed up for Payzer, Green Sky, whoever it was, they gave you a URL where a customer went and applied for financing through Witherspoon Heating and Cooling. We're going to take that one step further. Take that URL, put it in the website. That all I have to do is touch that payment button, and this is going to jump right to your financer. Mine happens to be hooked to Payzer, and this is going to allow the customer to apply for that financing, be approved for that financing, and sign off for the job, all while your tech stands right there in the house. We've got some really awesome feedback on this, that some people have been able to close some of these larger jobs. I mean, $10,000, $12,000 jobs, people can almost impulse buy. So really cool. And again, whatever company you want, put the URL in, simply a touch. Next, we'll get an approval signature that they approve us to start the job. And then once the job's done, hot air, everybody's happy. April, we're going to get an acceptance signature that they are happy with the job. And now it's time to really go ahead and do probably the most important part, get yourself paid, right? So we're going to jump in here, and all we have to do is hit the payment key. Cash, we can apply full or partial balance. Check, same thing, full or partial balance. And then credit card. As far as the credit card goes, we are integrated in-app with a sister company called PaySimple, as you can see here. It'll seamlessly jump into PaySimple. They'll send you a swiper. You can swipe the card, they'll post a payment to Profit Rhino, and seamlessly jump you back in here. Otherwise, you can still use your Payzers, QuickBooks, whatever you have. You just have to jump in their app, swipe it, come in here, mark it paid. Not a big deal at all. And then once we're done, always best practice to hit save, email and save. This emails that invoice directly to the customer from the pad. And then once you're done there as well, if you go to the eyeball, this is going to give you, again, a PDF view of exactly what that invoice is going to look like. First page is that summary. Second page is the actual options. Third page now is your completed work order. Again, your logo, your information, service address, billing address, tech, date, images, descriptions for everything here. Down below, we'll see any totals. We highlight any discounts or payments. This your logo here is simply a PDF you can put in. This can be anything you want. You can advertise, your furnace tune-ups this time of year, your AC in the fall, in the spring. I also have a company that sold this to a local pizza shop, so you get a pizza coupon, found a way to bring a little revenue back in there. So really cool. Your signatures, and then also any kind of acknowledgments or addendums you guys want to do, all customized. We'll see at the bottom. Printed, emailed right from the tablet, also saved to the cloud, so you guys can access this, here in the office instantly. So that's what I have as far as a field process. What do you have for questions, April? Service agreements, now we don't have a spot where they can sign it. We can put the service agreement in here. We can put all the verbiage, everything in the picture. If you want them to physically sign for a service agreement, you'd have to have them physically sign a piece of paper. Other than that, we can put it all here. Another thing is, you guys mentioned you didn't want to do the dispatch. Maybe we make this a service agreement signature. We can go ahead and I gotta go with a pencil here, but we can go in here and change these addendums, and we can make this, this is their signing up for the service agreement. We could absolutely change the signature box if you don't want to use it as well. So that'd be another option to be able to do it digitally. Great. What other questions do you have? Nothing. Awesome. Well, let's jump in here and kind of see where we're going to get those records here. I am just going to quick reset this for us here because it's going to time me out. And we'll jump in and look at the web portal. And now we're going to be able to keep really actually see exactly what your techs have done, kind of keep track of it in live time as well. So let's take a quick look at that here. First thing I want to show you guys here is the work order section. This is, again, where you're going to find that stuff. Here we can jump into work orders. And this is where we can go. And at this point, we can know. A lot of people will just put a star, a dollar sign, something after the customer's name so they know they're service agreement customers. But here's where we'll be able to see what's gone on throughout the day. The work order number, the date, the customer, the address. This will tell you what tech has done the job. When you see options here, 3 bubbles showed us that we presented 3 options to that customer. We can do up to 6. So if we offered 6 options, you'll see 6 bubbles. All you have to do is click on the green one to show what they purchased. You can also click on the red ones to see what they were offered and didn't purchase. If they didn't make a purchase, you'll see all red options. And if they weren't offered options, it'll be blank. Whole point of this is so you can look at this at the end of the day and see what your guys did in the field without spending hours running reports and digging through that stuff. So really easy for you guys to manage that here. Here's your total. If they've paid, we're going to put it in this huge blue box again. So at the end of the day, you can look at this. This guy owes us money. All we have to do is click here, send. We can email this invoice right to the customer that quickly. So again, just made so you can easily kind of see that stuff. If they owe, obviously do here. And then if we go to PDF View Select, our cover sheet, our option, or our work order, we can see whichever one we like. And all we have to do is click it. And again, here's the one we just did. This stuff is happening in real time for you guys. So here's that invoice we did, signatures, addendums, acknowledgments, all that stuff transfers right over. You can now print this and mail this invoice as well if you guys need to. So really cool there. And then all these categories filter down. So we can really grind down on this info. We can find out what tech sells the most #1 options. You can easily kind of find that information. And then if we click on the customer, this is where we're going to see the customer's information. Again, all their information here. If they're a commercial customer, if they're companies, we can put it in here. Again, a lot of people will mark this if they're service agreement members. Down here, we'll see any additional addresses they have. If you guys service companies or people who have rental properties, we can bill back unlimited addresses back to one account here. Internal notes is where we'll be able to see any notes that the technician made in the field on this account. Same thing here. And then invoices is where we're going to see a full customer history. This is going to show us every time we've gone to this customer's house, the date, the service address, the tech that did the job, what they purchased, if they still owe. And again, this is going to be personalized. Again, we can kind of filter down on this stuff to really see what we're at. We can also kind of get different information off this page. I always tell people, first thing I see when I look at this guy buys the most expensive thing almost every single time. Maybe this time we can make it just a bit nicer for them, a bit more expensive. So this is supposed to be a really easy way you can manage your customers without spending, an absolute ton of time doing that stuff at the end of the day. Again, April, really like to do a quick pause, see if there's any questions, comments so far. Awesome. So let's go to business information. I'll be very quick here. Again, you guys have Cool Front. This is where we're putting in your labor rate. This is the $2.50 an hour we saw go off that 90 minutes. Here's your parts markup. Again, low cost stuff marked up high. Cost comes up, markup percentage goes down. You can come into any of these lines. You can add lines, take them away, open them up, markup percentage, profit percentage, whatever you guys want to do. Another really big thing here is you see we're in the heating book. We can actually go in our AC book, charge $4.40 an hour. We can go in your new equipment, charge $2.80 an hour. All these books will operate independently from each other. I'm not sure how Cool Front has that set up, but we can do a different bill out rate, different service agreement discounts, different taxes, different whatever you want between heating, between new equipment, between AC. So again, it's going to operate like 9 independent price books for you guys. And then as far as making changes to the book, you just come in here, and depending on your internet connection, it takes 2 to 10 seconds. Mine has taken 10 seconds today. But you just change the number, hit calculate business info. Again, 2 to 10 seconds. It's going to change everything in that AC book. And then all we have to do after we're done that is have your guys come to their tablets, and we do the sync data, check for the updates. And the reason we're doing this is all this data is cached on the tablet, April. So if you guys go out somewhere where you don't have service, you don't have Wi-Fi, whatever it may be, all the data is there. You can't take a credit card, you can't send an email, but your pictures, upsells, cross-sells, options are all there, and the app is just going to hold that till you hit connection and then send those invoices out, send that stuff to the cloud. So anytime we make a change, we just do that quick sync to get the new info in. You can literally change this while you're eating your lunch, 12:05. These guys are charging the new prices, looking at the new pictures, all that stuff out in the field. I know that's old hat stuff to you. Any questions there? Absolutely. Yep. Well, let's jump down here and do that. Down here, import export. This is, I call it the no fun page, because really this is all your reporting, all that after hour stuff. But absolutely yes. QuickBooks 1 is your desktop version. QuickBooks 2 is your online version. We'll give you guys what we call the export, which is really basically a list of all the task numbers with the prices. So when we send this to QuickBooks, they know what T60021 is, that blower motor we looked at, and obviously do what QuickBooks does. So short answer, absolutely correct. We have about 1,000 customers in the US and Canada. everybody uses QuickBooks. We really have no complaints or no problems with the integration here. So definitely there. Also here, while we're here, this is where we can import your customers. We'll import a parts list if we need to, a task list. Also, you can pull information out by trade, by parts, by tasks. Again, just do any kind of reporting or pull any information out of the price book you guys would like. My next one here is Manage Book, and this is just where we're going to control that view. Again, you guys, we're going to turn off the plumbing book for you. We're going to turn off the drain cleaning, the electrical, etc., to clean that view up. Again, we can come through these and turn off the subcategories. We can turn the subcategories. We can even go in and turn the individual tasks on and off. So again, you have 100% control what they see and how they see it. Just really matters, you know, how deep you want to dive in, how much time you want to spend setting that up. Tasks, this is the real big one. Again, you can see we have just under 4,500 tasks built for you guys. Just jump in that same order we looked at earlier. This is where I can come in and easily change a description. Secondary description, customer description. Here's the labor time. Here's the add-on time. If we toggle this to an add-on task, we're losing 15 minutes of labor. That's where the discount's coming from. This is where I can move this time up or down to kind of make this discount larger or smaller. And then below are the parts included with the job. Again, you guys know the beauty of flat rate. We include the belt, the capacitor, just wrap it right up in the job. Also miscellaneous. Nuts, bolts, screws, washers, Teff tape, caulk, that kind of stuff. It's an enormous amount of clutter that just makes the book unmanageable. So we just put it in as miscellaneous here for your one-off stuff, simply for the reason that we're marking it up 300-400%. We really kind of want to make sure we have a placeholder. You need to add a part. You simply search it by name or by number here. For some reason it's not here, you can actually create it right from this page, so you don't have to jump back and forth between pages if for some reason you need to create a part. Next one here is calculations, and I find this probably the most interesting thing back here. This is going to go through and tell us what the parts cost you folks, what we sold these parts back to the customer for, what the labor cost you, what we sold this labor back to the customer for, and then depending on which rate, the value, standard, or premium, it's going to tell us what we make in dollars or in profit percentage here. Really cool. You can play with your bill out rates, your parts markups, and see what it's going to do to the profitability without actually sending a tech into the home to do the job. And then down below, it's going to do the same with the add-on. So after we take that time off, make that discount, make sure we're still staying profitable, we're still making money on these jobs. Next one will be categories. Simply tells us where in the book we found it. It was under heating, forced hot air, blower wheels, and motors. Next is marketing. This is where we can control those upsells and cross-sells. Here's that pull and clean that popped up when we added it to the invoice. Just say add tasks. Again, search by name or by number. Click the plus, and next time you sync, this disconnect gas appliance will show up. Down here is where we looked at the thermostats. Again, no real upsell task for a blower motor. And then my favorite part, April, is images. Obviously, images are huge here, so we want to have an easy, convenient way for you guys to update them. Obviously, there's a lot in here. Drop-downs will change the order they show up. You can download them from any kind of library, but there's really no need because we are connected with Google Images. So all you have to do is put in any word. Part numbers, stock numbers all work the same. Google's going to search the internet, find the image. All you got to do is crop it, upload it. Literally takes about a second to put those new images in. Same thing with your equipment. You know, put in Honeywell model A1. It's going to bring a picture of that thermostat. We can put that new image in there. So really easy to change those images. Also, you want to mess around with the guys on a Friday afternoon. You can have a real lot of fun with that as well. And then last thing here is accounting. And this simply tells us if this job pays commission and if it's taxable, yes or no, no dollar amounts here. And then account. This is really what bucket we want to put it in. So we can put your heating in one spot, your AC in another, your installs in another. So when we pull this out to send it to QuickBooks or whatever we want to do with it, we can kind of separate that stuff and just make it, you know, a bit easier for you guys to handle. So I know I just dropped a ton of information on you in about 3 minutes flat. What questions do you have there, April? Hey, perfect. Let's keep plugging. We're almost done too. We're making good time here. Parts are parts. I don't like to get into it too much here. Everything is currently on a national average. What we'll do with you guys if you decide to go with us is we do a success program. Lack of better words, this is a hand-holding process between us and you where we're going to go through and take this from the generic version we're looking at today to a 100% customized book for Witherspoon Heating and Cooling. So in this process, we'll audit that price book, get those parts prices honed in for you guys going forward. So just keep that in mind here with the parts prices. What I really want to show you is this update cost by product line. I don't think Cool Front will do this, but we can come in here and go copper, went up 4% last week, update it. It's going to update every single piece of copper in this book, whether it's 10 feet of pipe, quarter-inch fitting, whatever it is, move it up 4%, price it according to whatever the chart on the business information page says. Your R22s, your different kinds of refrigerants, really vital to be able to move this stuff, with the market and keep you guys profitable. Also, same thing with your product lines. When we set up your new equipment book, if you guys are a Carrier dealer, we can put in Carrier, move the whole line up 2 or 3% when that price goes up every year like it always does. So instead of going into 70 tasks and changing them, we just type Carrier, hit 3, enter, and it's all done. So really simple way for you guys to just keep up with that kind of stuff. Next one is option boards. This is where those pre-built options are held. We call it the team board list. We have about 130 built for you guys. Some are electrical, plumbing. You're probably about 80, more like in HVAC. But you can come in here and you can just kind of tweak the ones we've built. If you like the format we had, it's just not exactly the way you guys want to see it, you can come in here and just tweak these. You can also come in here and create these from any internet connected device. So yourself or the service manager or whoever can come in here, build the option boards that the techs are going to use to sell in the field. Next thing is the option list. This is going to show us any option that tech built in the field. If you remember on the tablet, it gave us the option to build it from scratch or use a pre-built one. If they build from scratch, it's going to show us here exactly what they built. Say Joe built these, April built these, etc. Reason, make sure these guys are doing what they're supposed to. And number two, sometimes these guys are really good at this. You come across a guy who builds awesome options. He sells lots of extra stuff. You can come here, see his options, and then share it with every other guy on the service. So everybody presents those good options. Everybody has that stuff that's selling well. And then lastly here, April is the mass list. And this is truly just what you want to call those options. Good, better, best, critical, recommended, like new. We can do up to 6 options. You can call them whatever you want. Let your creativity take over. I have a guy who works with the Ben Franklin Plumbing Organization. He made these all like historical facts about Ben Franklin. It turned out really cool and just a really neat way to do it. So again, sky's the limit we want to do there. Customers, work orders, import, export, we've already done. So really, we've kind of hit the end here. Any questions, anything else you'd like to jump back and take a second look at? Yeah, absolutely. So yep, it's gonna have their yeah, no problem. So, and then again here, your addresses, we can add a service address. This is unlimited. There is no limit to the amount of addresses you can put here, which is really cool. And then you can also turn these kind of on and off as well. If this guy doesn't have this as well, or you don't go there anymore, you can turn these off. They don't pay. So kind of there. And then invoices, again, is just going to give you the history of every time we've gone in here. Now, I like to be very transparent with this part. We cannot pull your old stuff out of QuickBooks. I know the invoices and everything are QuickBooks. It won't come back out. So this history is only going to start from when you guys start Profit Rhino. So that can be a pain point. I absolutely admit it. For the first probably 3 to 6 months, having your invoices in 2 spots. Usually after 6 months, you're not looking back that far. It's easy to find. But again, just to kind of be transparent, this history is going to start when you guys start Profit Rhino. I appreciate you being reasonable. Correct. Yep. Correct. So, yep. Yep. So even if we want to go back and look at this one on the 8th, if we want to see what he bought, all we have to do is click the number 1, and it's going to show us everything he bought. Or we just go to the drop down here and click work order. It's going to ask customer or tech version. Again, just one's going to have the SKUs, one isn't. And then this is going to pull up, here's the invoice we did on the 8th, just as the customer would see it. Customer got emailed, again, the exact copy. So yeah, all this stuff is really available instantly for you guys. And then if you want to email the invoice, you just hit this button. I want to send it to the customer, send email, you're sending that invoice out. Again, you can print them from that PDF screen. Good stuff. All right. Well, let's talk about that one last thing we always got to talk about here. Again, success. Keep in mind, April, this is a realistic time frame. 4 weeks is a perfect average. Sometimes it's a little quicker. Sometimes it's a little longer, just depending on the work. So just keep this in mind as far as the timeline. And then as far as pricing, the costing is $55 per user. I'll send all these slides over to you, the pricing and the other slides, so you can have that. I always like to be extremely clear here. A user is only a tech in the field with a tablet. So if you have 3 service guys, you're looking at 165 a month. Even if you have 5 people in the office people can log into the web portal, change prices, change pictures. We only charge people in the field generating invoices. So I really like to be clear about that. And then we do have a one-time charge here. You can obviously see of $12.99. We do that because we don't charge any, or excuse me, we don't do any contracts. We're not with you for 6 months, 2 years, anything like that. It's day to day from day one. With that being said, we have to charge something up front to build a custom price book for you guys. We've obviously been burnt more than once, so $1,200 to build a book is still extremely reasonable. If you guys are members with any of these groups down here, I can also take $200 off that up front and bring it down to $10.99 for you guys for that success program as well. Awesome. Again, that's all I have. Yeah, go ahead. No, great question. It is a tablet. We do not support an app for a phone. Simply for the fact, like we saw the images, the pictures, when that gets on a phone screen, even if you use a Galaxy or one of the big iPhones, it looks crappy. April, really the tablet. And as far as the tablet, I recommend the bigger screen, the better. The bigger screen, just the slicker, the nicer it's going to look. So definitely great question, but only supported on tablets, any Android or Apple tablet. Exactly. You can cancel at any time. Also, I like to be very clear and transparent. This cost is for us to build you a custom price book. If you guys cancel, we do not refund this. We spent the money to build you guys a custom price book. I think that's fair. Most people agree, but again, I just like to be as transparent as possible about that. That is per month. Again, per month, and only text generating invoices are paying that 55. Yep. Nope, not at all. After you pay the $12.99, you're strictly at $55 a tech. Something else cool about that is you can turn those on and off by a month. Sorry if it get loud in here. One of our coworkers just bought her first house and she just walked in, so everybody's giving her high fives. Um, we can turn these texts on and off by the month. You guys probably running more texts in the summer than you are in the winter, so we can turn these on and off on a monthly basis, so you guys aren't paying for texts that aren't out in the field throughout the winter and stuff. But again, after this, there is no other charges besides your monthly, per text. Correct, correct. So this is a little different. We're going to do a flat fee. Some people it works out a lot better for. Some people it doesn't. It depends on your invoice volume. I think we offer a bit more than CoolFront as far as just upsells, cross sells, that kind of thing. Really, again, I'll give you the salesman pitch. With those upsells, cross sells, the options, these tablets should easily be able to recover an extra $55 a month if these guys are doing it right in the field. That's one of the reasons in the tech training we actually take the lead. We'll bring these guys in on a screen share in the morning before they go out in the field and really try and get them up to speed. Again, just to kind of be honest, techs are always the wild card here. If these guys will do these options and these upsells and cross sells, you will make more money. I promise it'll happen, but we can't go out there and hold their hand in the field all day either. So again, that's always the wild card. I know what I'm talking about, but we'll take the lead there. But again, really, like I said, if they're doing that stuff, they'll easily recover that $55 a tablet. Probably just in the first week or two, and then the rest is all just extra money for you guys. Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So our install book, this is very generic. Keep in mind, we obviously customize this to what you guys do. But when we come inside our install book, everything is set up. The first two lines here, these are full systems. This is going to have, again, your furnace, your evap coil, your pad work, your whips, your sheet metal modification. It's all there. So we come in, everything is set up by SEER and then by tonnage inside. So we could do a 2-ton here. And this is where we come in. Again, we can see your parts. Again, these are your whips, sheet metal, all this stuff here, your condensers, your pad work, fuses, it's all included here. So obviously we'll come through here, make sure the parts list is right for you guys. If you sell Carrier, we'll get pictures of Carrier equipment. We'll change brand A to Carrier. We'll go with what? And absolutely not. You can see here we have a brand A and a brand B. Most people do 2 levels, but we can just copy a C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. No difference in here. One thing I want to be about, if we're going to put in 4 or 5 different levels of products, keep in mind that is going to add a little bit of time to our success program. We usually, in this average 4 weeks, it's 1 to 2. So if we're going to do 4, we may, be a little over that. So again, just kind of keep that in mind, but not a problem at all. You can see down here, we do have the ductless, we have mini splits, we have your water heaters, and then miscellaneous repairs. We leave this in here. This is that little electrical stuff you guys do here. Here's your condensates that you do and your disconnects and stuff. And again, that way we can turn the electrical book off and you guys have just these few things that you guys take care of with your installs. Cool. Yeah, so really cool. Again, your water heater book is here as well. We also duplicate the water heater book out here so you guys can find it. Exactly the same book, just kind of have it in 2 spots so you can jump in both places for you guys. And one last thing, I forgot to show you here because I'm just having a crazy day. Miscellaneous. This is really cool. Demo miscellaneous fees. We kind of hit this earlier. Okay. Nothing like having the app just crash right in the middle of the conversation. I'm telling you, I'm having that kind of day, so no worries. But if we jump in miscellaneous here, demo and miscellaneous fees. This is full of that stuff here. If you have to take care, open up a wall, dig trenches, your permits, equipment rentals, holiday work, all that kind of stuff is in here, so you can have line items for that. Another really cool thing here is the grid matrix. No matter what we put in here, you're always going to walk into something someday we don't have a task for. This is going to let you just build one on the fly. MPT, we know it's going to be an hour of labor, and the parts at our cost are going to be $110. This is just going to build this task for 60 minutes at $110 based off whatever the charts say. And then once we add this to the invoice, we can just change this name to, April's Furnace Repair, whatever it may be here, and create this custom task. So you guys are never really left out in the cold without being able to leave some kind of quote, invoice, something behind for the customer. Oh, right. Great question. P is priority, and this is what's going to judge our add-ons in our tasks. So obviously, if we put everything on, the blower motor was a P3, the capacitor, the belt, the filter would be P2s or P1s. So when we add everything to an invoice, it's going to know what to charge the extra on, because we're going to have more extra built into a blower motor than we are a filter. So it's going to charge the extra first on the most expensive one and then charge the rest as add-on. So that's just how they're identifying what's what. Awesome. Okay. Any questions, anything else you'd like to take a quick look at, April? Yes. What I can do, unfortunately, we weren't able to get on the audio, so you're only going to hear my voice, not yours. But I can actually upload this to my private YouTube channel and send you the link here a little bit later this afternoon. Not a problem at all. Awesome. Great. Well, what I'll do that. I have 7 meetings today, so just give me a little patience with getting that over to you today. Also, I'm going to send over these 2 slides, your success program, as well as the pricing, so you guys have that for your reference. Included in email will be all my direct contact info. I am out of the office next week, so if you have any questions next week, email me. I'm on vacation, but I'll be monitoring my email all the time. We all know salesmen never get a real vacation, so so happily email me. You're not bothering me at all. But just shoot me an email if you have a question next week. If not, I'll follow up with you guys that following week, just see if you have any questions, anything there. One last thing, if you guys are looking to get the ball rolling, right now we're booking about 7 business days out for your first meeting here. So we're really kind of tacking on another week on this. Just as you guys slow down and want to do this stuff, this becomes our busy season. With the holiday this week, it's really gotten a little backed up. So just keep that. We're 5 to 7 business days out, booking your first meeting as well. Perfect. Awesome. Well, April, I really appreciate the time. I will get that video and all those slides over to you here shortly. I have another meeting at 12, then I have an hour off at 1, so I'll try and get all that over to you here in the next hour or so. Otherwise, just appreciate you taking the time. If I don't talk to you beforehand, enjoy Thanksgiving, and I'm sure we'll be in touch shortly. Thanks. I will. Trust me. Thanks. Bye.